Our next author wrote the book, The Spirit Connection, The Bereaved Parent's Guide to Moving Beyond the Grief and Communing with Your Child. Erin Chandler, let's talk about your beautiful book.
Thank you.
Yeah. So The Spirit Connection, I love the title of this book. It just has so much peace and beauty in it already. Tell us, who did you write this book for and what's it about?
So this book is, well, it's for everyone that's lost a loved one, but it's really directed towards bereaved parents. You know, it's the one loss that is every parent's worst nightmare, and was actually my experience when my youngest daughter, Ava, passed away. So the reason I wrote this book is through my journey after my daughter passed away in 2010, everything fell apart. You started losing multiple things, and life had no joy. Getting up out of bed every morning 24/7 for 7 to 10 years is exhausting when the first thought that you have is, my child is dead. It's very hard to live like that. So essentially what happens is everything collapses, your health, your joy. And after a while, I just decided I couldn't do it anymore and I couldn't be here. So after going through that and making that decision, I kind of came to the conclusion that the message that we get is that you'll never get over it. And that's what it feels like.
Well, that's what you were being told, right? I mean, you'd go into support groups. Talk about that process, because I think that the parents or the bereaved people who are listening are experiencing this too, and I think hearing you describe it will resonate.
Yeah, and there really isn't much support. So basically you feel like you're never going to get over it. Yeah. You feel like you're never going to be happy again. A part of you is gone. And when you go into support groups and you see other bereaved parents that are going through that experience, and they tell you, yes, you're never going to get over it. You're never going to move forward from losing your child. It was the understanding. Suddenly I realized, I was like, hold on, if I never get over this, that means I'm never getting over the guilt. I'm never getting over the sorrow. I am never going to be happy again. And who could live this whole rest of their life knowing my child is gone and I'm never going to be happy? So that concept was, it's limiting. It forces us to be in that spot of never being happy. So for me to be able to go over to another bereaved parent and say, guess what? I didn't get over it. I moved through it, and I learned to connect with my child, and I'm happier than I've ever been in my life, is really hard to say to somebody, because all we get is, you're never going to get over it, and P.S., don't talk about it with other people because it's uncomfortable.
But the truth is, that's what you realized, right? You'd go there, you'd hear you're never going to get over it, and somewhere along the way you were like, what? First you thought, I don't want to do this, and then... Yeah, and then somewhere in a moment, thank goodness, you realized there's something other than getting over it, right? Mm-hmm. That really can be good. Let's talk about that.
Yes, no, of course. So, yeah, so basically what happened was I got to the point where I didn't want to be here anymore, and that was the turning point. And then when I made that decision that I no longer wanted to be here, a couple of days later, a woman contacted me and said, your daughter Ava has been coming to me crying, and she says that you decided not to do this anymore.
Oh my goodness.
I had not told anyone this. This was an internal conversation between me and the universe. So to have a woman contact me out of nowhere and say this was... Hold on a second.
Yeah, my whole body is just like, ugh. Yeah.
Hold on a second. What do you mean my daughter came to you? So over the year, passing over that, weeks and months, this woman and I would converse, and she would be able to tell me something I thought the day before in my head. So when I decided, I said, okay, I give up, she would say, hey, your daughter's saying you gave up. So the understanding of that over the course of time, I ended up learning how to communicate with my daughter myself. And through working with clients, also discovered that everybody has the ability to learn how to do this, communicate with spirit. And the thing is how would you feel if you knew that every person that you loved stood beside you in every moment, guiding you, loving you, supporting you? Like,
it fills my heart, right? Yes, it's beautiful. And so the Spirit Connection is a it's a guide to help them actually get this kind of connection, notice, get access to this connection that's already there. Is that right? Yeah.
It is literally the step-by-step guide to the process that I took myself to learn how to do it, that my clients go through to learn how to do it. So it's like I get to have a conversation with my daughter Ava, who's dead in the context of our society, but get a response and get guidance and say, hey, you need to write this book, and P.S., you need to include this for all these people that are suffering in grief. So
that's so beautiful. I love it. I love it. So you can get the Spirit Connection right now. You can download it for free these next couple of days. Courtney from Maryland would like to ask you about writing this book. Yes. Do you have any tips or pointers for those of us struggling with imposter syndrome?
Of course, Courtney, it's like you know me. Okay, so imposter syndrome is actually one of the things that I face. So it's kind of like, who the hell am I to tell you you can connect with your dead loved one? Who am I to, pardon my language, who am I to be able to help other people? So here's the thing. I can read as many books as I want to and tell you that I know exactly how it feels to lose a child. But the reality is I don't know how that feels unless I've literally been through it. So the experience of something is the greatest facilitator in doing that. And the thing that stops us in imposter syndrome was, oh, I'm going to believe everything that I ever thought. I can't do this. What if people think I'm wrong? Yeah. I can't even prove to you that my daughter is standing here. There's no tangible proof. All of those things play a factor in that imposter syndrome, when the reality is your experience is the gift that you're giving to other people. Yeah.
Beautiful. Perfect. All right. And let's show them your beautiful book, The Spirit Connection, The Bereaved Parent's Guide to Moving Beyond the Grief and Communing with Your Child. Erin Chandler, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.